Let's see. On the topic of leadership, what was the last event that you had gone to that you were thrust into a leadership role? Like for me, I know these are the top three things that I've had. I've been an impromptu wedding reception MC, an impromptu eulogy, and an impromptu toast.
Wow. Train wreck, huge success.
My wife is poking me in the elbow and saying, "Oh my God, he's dying up there. Get up there, do something."
Bless you for doing that, because it is tough. How about you, David?
I'm not good in that situation. I will admit it. I'm the person that's sitting there going, well, someone should take over and take charge of this. Anyone?
I've seen you.
Michael, go for it. Or no, I'm the person that goes, says, would somebody like to take over and manage this? And I'll go, yeah, I think Michael should do it.
Yeah, you're the guy. Yeah.
I'm that guy.
Or when you retired, did anybody say, "Hey, David, say a few words"? Anybody say that?
It was a different situation. We're living in different times. So my retirement party and dinner / whatever it was all online.
Oh, wow.
So you're a COVID retiree, huh?
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't know if you're thrust into it as opposed to there's an opportunity and you just step up into it. And I walk into the room and it's a 21-year-old engineer and it's a 28-year-old engineer who had never used this system before. I'm like, what are we doing? And I'm like, I look around and I go, I guess it's me. This was a multi-million-dollar project, and I'm just like, how do we not have like the senior engineer here who's going to be giving us direction on this? When somebody puts you in a position that's something that you have to learn in, take it and just be open to feedback. Honestly, I think that's probably been one of the reasons that I've been most successful, is I'm just willing to do that. And a lot of people are so worried about being wrong or not doing it right. And I'm like, this could be a train wreck, but the only way I'm going to find out is if you tell me. It is a train wreck. Oh, good. Where are the parts that I need to fix so it doesn't crash again? For those people out there who are in LACE that are just beginning, we recommend that you stay with Toastmasters. You can use it in the actual real world. Yeah, you can. Just ask these guys. Wait, try to get my finger pointing right.
Him. It's the Brady Bunch, right? When was the last time that you presented at a workshop and something went wrong?
So the first one that comes to mind for me was I was the MC of a women's conference. They booked someone who is like the, belly dancing for energy. And for me, that's perfect. So I loved it. I was up there and I'm belly dancing. She's like, I'm like, oh, I'm not getting cramps in places where probably as a male I should not be getting cramps. But I'm just saying. But the next speaker was a grief counselor. So, her story was about, death of her child. It was such an abrupt shift. So the transition from the belly dancers to her, the MC piece, wasn't so bad. But when she was finished, literally the room was in tears. I remember standing there going, okay, my normal thing is to crack a joke. And I go, it is not appropriate to crack a joke right now.
Too soon?
Too soon! Too soon!
Way too soon.
I'm going to tell my Lincoln jokes. And so I remember sitting there, and I think that's one of the things that, again, that I'll give a shout out to Toastmasters for, is it teaches you to take that moment, that breath. And I remember I took that breath and I just went, I wanted to say thank you for everyone for sharing in this moment. I know this is very emotional for a lot of you, and to have the courage to get up here in front of a room of strangers and be able to share, some of the pain you are in, understand that this helps people. And I said, with everybody going here, I think we should let's just take a 5-minute break and for everybody, and then we'll come back in 5 minutes and begin again. And that wasn't on the schedule, but it was just one of those reading the room moments that that I think is just so important from learning how to do this. And then I had this woman come up to me and go, "You are the best MC I've ever seen." And I'm like, "Okay, I want to understand why you said that to me." He says, "Well, I thought you were good. You know, you were making light and you're making everybody laugh. But when you took that moment, the serious moment, I realized that you really knew how to manage the room." And I was like, "Thank you," because I don't do a lot of MCing. And so in that moment, to be recognized for that, and I would say the reason that went well, I honestly give it to Toastmasters, because those moments where you're asked to do things impromptu.
David, have you ever had it where your laptop or something just went the way of the dodo, didn't work?
I was trying to think of a time when everything did go right.
True, that's very good.
It was 1973. I was 7 years old.
No, it hasn't happened yet. I'm still waiting for it to happen. They're the funniest times only afterwards, not at that time.
Every event that I have been to, something has gone wrong. I had it where the laptop was working just fine, but the projector died. So I got a room of 28 people, and they're looking at the screen, but the screen's not working. So I'm like, okay, well, let me just take this. And I saw a banker's box on the ground. I brought it up, put it on there, and put my laptop on the top. So we had 28 executives looking at this tiny little laptop screen. I continued my presentation. It was the hottest day of the year. We were at Lace, of all places, at Chapman University. Chapman University, the air conditioning went out. We had a full-on blackout. Oh, my God, what do you do? And, of course, I'm in a coat and tie. You know, I'm all professional and everything. Hey, you're going to learn things from me. I'm starting to sweat because it's hot in there. Everybody else is hot and they're fanning themselves. So you have to address it, and then you just move on. And then everybody's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that is great advice.
In homage to comedian Jeff Foxworthy, who made famous jokes, "You might be a redneck," here are a few "you might be a bad leader" jokes. If you are in the front of the mob with a torch and a pitchfork, you might be a bad leader. If you're the prominent person in the pack of people running away from the monster in a movie, you might be a bad leader. If you're unwilling to adapt to the situation, you might be a bad leader. If you lack the moral integrity and flip-flop on every decision, you might be a bad leader. If you're not focused on the future and not demonstrating a clear plan for how to continuously improve, you might be a bad leader. If you take credit for when things go right and blame everyone else when things go wrong, you might be a bad leader.